Hey, Jason here, wanting to continue our educational series on how to sell land in Texas yourself. With this question, people are always asking me, where should I post my property that I want to sell? I have a piece of land in Texas, I'd like to sell it. Where can I post property for sale myself? And particularly, where can I do this for free or for very cheap? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of websites that you can do to get started if you'd like to sell your property yourself. All right, so we're just gonna jump over here and pull up the first site, which is Zillow, Zillow.com. Now Zillow, as I showed you in some of my previous videos, is a great source for finding property for sale. You can find land for sale on there as well as houses. I will say that usually larger parcels, large acreage is not gonna be found as much on Zillow. You could post it on there. It might not be the best place, so keep that in mind. But it's great for smaller acreage and building lots, residential lots, etc. So you can just jump over here and click the sell button, and you can scroll down, and there's a little spot here that says sell it yourself, and just click on create a listing. And now something to keep in mind is if you own a piece of property, let's say you have 10 acres and it's out in the country, and it doesn't have a street address. Zillow does require a street address, so you need to put a street address in here. If it doesn't have a street address, you can just make one up. So let's say your property is on Main Street, but it's actually way out in the country and it doesn't have an address on it. You could just put one Main Street, and then you can put in your city and your state and zip. When you create this listing, Zillow creates a little pin on a map feature that it has, and it'll probably put that pin somewhere else. So you'll want to go ahead and adjust and edit that closer to where you know your property is actually located. If your property does have a street address, you could just go ahead and put it in. And then you continue, and it will offer you to put up a description and some pictures, and you want to go ahead and fill out some information and get that live. Another place often forgotten is Craigslist. Now I know not a lot of people are using Craigslist, but you'd be surprised there still is a huge group. I thought there wasn't a lot of people on there, but for buying land, cars, etc., there's still a lot of traffic on Craigslist. Just go to Craigslist, and then you can choose US states down here, and you can just scroll down. We're looking at Texas, so you can click on Texas, and there's a list of different cities. So we could pick Austin, for instance. And there's a thing that says under housing, real estate for sale. And when you click on that, it's going to come up with a bunch of listings. As you can see, it's very active on Craigslist for real estate listings. There are 2,151 pages of them. And you can see there's land. Here's a piece of land right here, 10 acres near Lometa. So if you want to post, you're just going to click over here and you're going to click post. Okay. And then it's going to take you through the process of choosing what you want, for sale by owner in this case, and it'll choose your category. You need to choose real estate, and then you can create a post. And Craigslist will send you an email. Sometimes they phone verify you, but you need to use that email that they send you. You actually have to follow the link and then click a button to activate the post. Just because you finish this process, it's not going to be activated until you follow that link. You need to keep that link, as well as it's very important in order to update or delete your posts. Now, another great place to sell is using Facebook, particularly Facebook Marketplace. Also some Facebook groups. If you're near a large metropolitan area, there might be land for sale type groups in that area. But you can just simply go into your Facebook account, and you can open up and create a marketplace post. You can create that either as a miscellaneous, or they're changing it, but you can, I believe, still put it as a home and just put 0 bedrooms, 0 baths. And you can post your land for sale, put a few pictures on there, a little bit of a description. Now, the one thing to keep in mind with Facebook is a lot of people are going to ding you about it. Is this still available? Is this still available? And a lot of times they just ghost you after that. You're not necessarily going to get the best leads there, even though they act like they're interested. But it is free still to do it. So these 3 options are free. Now, if you'd like to do a paid route, in order to sell your property, particularly maybe you have a little bit larger property or you think it's a little more valuable, you could go to Lands of America, and then you can go to add a listing, and there's option to add just one listing. No, you're not a broker. Put your information in, and you can actually do a one-off listing even if you aren't a broker and don't have a membership. This is a membership site through lands.com, but you can pay for a singular listing. It's not cheap. I think it's gonna cost a couple $100, but you can get quite a few serious buyers through this website if you're serious about selling your property. All right, so I hope that helps answer the question of where you can start posting your Texas property in order to sell it yourself. Stay connected for the following videos in this series.